If you're struggling, sometimes getting your focus off yourself and your problems and going to love someone can ignite you again. In this video, I want to share a powerful story that ignited love in me and helped me out of my journey of depression. 2014, I was going through one of the toughest seasons of my life. I was engaged and it didn't work out. A group of people that I thought really cared about me hurt me, and I was getting hammered at work. I ended up being dizzy for the whole year from all the pain and the pressure. I fell into total depression and I could barely do much. I was crying out to God for help, and it came in the most unlikely of ways. I had a client that I shared the love of God with the year before, and it did not go well. She did not like what I had to say. Then in the middle of my mess, we had a meeting together to go over a project, and I asked her how she was, and she had tears in her eyes, and she said her dad broke his neck, and no one was helping, and she didn't know what to do. That was a powerful moment for me because I didn't feel like I had much to give. I ended up driving 45 minutes to see them and brought them a nice hot meal and gave them some money to help. My client, her dad, and his wife felt so much love from this, which in turn sparked love and hope in me. It's not about comparison and challenges because we all have tough stuff that's unique to ourselves. But this man was in a lot dire of a situation than me and was like, I can't stop here. I got to keep doing something. So I started driving to his house after church every Sunday and sitting with him for an hour. When I would drive out there, I was in so much pain myself, and I'd ask myself, what do I have to offer a man with a broken neck that's just laying in bed that can't eat and can't do anything? As I continued to go out there Sunday after Sunday in great pain myself, I started to realize that it wasn't about anything I did or anything spectacular. It was just my presence. Just that I saw him and wanted to go see him. I realized that typically after tragedy, people reach out for like 2 to 6 weeks, and then after that, they go back to their busy lives. I continued for a year and a half to go out pretty regularly to see him. We started to read the Bible together, and he started to renew his faith. His wife said that I was the highlight of his week. I was like, how can this be? I'm such a mess myself. This really wrecked me, because I felt like I wasn't doing anything. There was one powerful moment I'll never forget. They didn't have much money, and they needed a special wheelchair to transfer him to the hospital in case of emergency. So they found one, and when they got it, it didn't work. It didn't fit, and they couldn't return it. And they were devastated because it cost like $26,000 and insurance wouldn't pay for it. When I came out there one Sunday, his wife was just bawling and said, I can't take this anymore. I don't know what to do. At that time in my life, I didn't have much hope myself, but I started having hope for her. That somehow, some way, God was going to do something to help her in this situation. Something welled up inside of me, and I looked her in the eyes and said, I don't know how, but God's going to provide for you. We both hugged and wept. It was so powerful that I had no hope for myself, but I had hope for them. There's something powerful about hope. I called the manufacturer the next day, and somehow the owner picked up the phone. She told him the story, and he was so moved by the story. So she calls me right after, and she goes, you will not believe this. The guy was so moved, he decided that he'd fix the wheelchair for free. He called the insurance company, and they're gonna pay for it. And she just was weeping with excitement. Humanly, you can't come up with this stuff, but it was a miracle. As me and my friend would continue to meet, we dreamed of someday going to church together once he got stronger. Unfortunately, it never happened. He took a turn for the worse after about 2 years, and his wife called me because he said he wanted to see me one last time. So I went out to his house and got to sit with him one last time. His wife said he didn't even have family members really come to visit him, and here I am, basically a total stranger, and we formed this bond over the last 2 years. This story has changed my life, and there's so many things I could say that affected me by this story. What I learned, though, is you don't have to have it together to be used as a vessel of love in someone's life. All I did was show up. I also don't need to do anything profound to show love. I was just with him. What advice do you give a man with a broken neck? I had nothing to offer this man besides my presence and being glad to be with him. Being delighted to be with someone produces joy. I'm really grateful for my friend. I feel like I needed this more than he did. Hope this inspires you. No matter what you're going through, you have value and can be used to give away love. I hope you enjoy this story, and I hope you all keep on rippling.